losses get a 10-point road victory here over Dallas. And we sent it up to the booth to visit with Joe and Troy. And gentlemen, at the end of your broadcast, you were talking about these close losses. Joe, in the history of the league, it's only been a handful of times we'd seen anybody lose 5 by 4 or fewer. They did not let that bleed into this game tonight at all. What most impressed you about the way Arizona won this football game?
I think that very point. And I think Jonathan Gannon has done a really good job of keeping this team focused on what the job was this week. They've got good veteran leadership, and Calais Campbell got a couple of sacks late in the ballgame. He's part of that. And certainly is Jacoby Brissett. He's on his 6th team in 10 years total in the league. He's seen a lot. He's been in a lot of different systems, 8 head coaches, 8 different offensive coordinators, and yet he has really put this offense on his back, and they've looked better the last 3 games. And they outplayed the Dallas Cowboys basically in every phase except for that special teams mistake that they made with a block punt.
Totally agree, and you guys closed the broadcast with a point about this guy. And Troy, a capable backup in this league is incredibly important, but a capable starter is even more important. You feel like he ought to be the starter moving forward?
Well, I do. I think you've got to put aside salaries and what someone's being paid and look at performance or how the team has played up to this point. And I think, as we discussed, Jacoby Brissett has given a little life to this offense. They look better the last 2 games coming into tonight. Obviously, those were losses. That they've come in tonight, even if Brissett had played well, they probably go back to Kyler Murray. My guess is they're going to stick with Jacoby Brissett. He's been good, and tonight he was phenomenal. I thought at times when he had pressure on him, he was still delivering the football accurately. There was a lot of good things, but Jacoby Brissett probably at the top of that list.
Yeah, and I thought Joe made a great point as well about just the locker room, right? You're going to want to head in a positive direction, and Brissett helped push him there. And Troy, on Countdown, when you joined us, we talked about the yin and the yang of the Cowboys. There's plenty they have shown us that makes you compelled to say this could be a really good team. And then there's also the downside. And we saw it perhaps tonight on the defensive side of the football as well, where you just go, I don't know if it's a good football team moving forward. Where does tonight leave you as it relates to the Cowboys?
Well, it's not a good football team. I mean, Bill Parcells once said, you are what your record says you are, and their record says they're not a very good football team, and average at best. And, Brian Schottenheimer even alluded to that this week. But this is a big blow to this franchise and this team because, they really felt coming into tonight, playing Arizona at home, they've played well at home, that they would win this game. They've got the bye coming up. Then they travel to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders, that they could kind of dig out of the hole that they had dug themselves. And I don't know what the trade announcement's going to be tomorrow, that Jerry Jones has announced that they've made one. But it's hard to imagine that guy, whoever it might be, is going to make a difference for this team. They're much further away than that. But that was all kind of predicated on being able to win this game and feel good about things as they go into the bye. But right now, there's not a lot to feel good about.
Yeah, and that schedule moving further down the road, weeks 12 through 14, really gets rugged. This felt like one they had to get. They didn't get it. We got a great one next week at Lambeau. It's supposed to be cold up there, fellas. Pack that handsome turtleneck, Joe, that I believe you might have worn last time. We'll look forward to seeing you guys up at Lambeau for the Eagles and the Packers.
It was a mock turtleneck. It was like a dickie.
Understood.
But I'll be happy to give it to you.
I'll pass on that, but maybe an ascot. We'll see. We'll see you guys at Lambeau. Thanks as always, man. Travel safe. Yep. This Cardinal team in the win column after losing 5 by a combined 13. It does not get easier. Man, the Seattle looked fantastic. They came to Washington last night and won in emphatic fashion. Then you got to take on a San Francisco team that's right there at the top of the rugged NFC West, best top-to-bottom division in football. Then it's Jacksonville and at Tampa Bay. Troy just alluded to it. It's a bye, then in Vegas, so we'll see him out there for that one. Then Philly and KC as things really ramp up. We're going to hear from Jerry Jones. He's talking about it. Man, they got us out here on the Star. We're sensitive to the fact that these guys are trying to do some work. We got Stephen A. with us out here. Feet on the Star, and RC, you got 40 seconds on the clock. It's all yours.
Well, listen, guys, I'm going to start with the Bengals. The Bengals defense couldn't get a stop if they had 4 stop signs, 5 stoplights, and a damn roadblock. Freaking Joe Flacco has been in the league for 2 decades. He has a career day, puts up over 40 points, has you up in the game, late in the game. And what do? You let Colston Loveland, a tight end who ain't got the ball all year, 6 catches, 2 tubs. Everybody runs at him. You hit him. He keeps going, and you can't get a stop. Bengals, please tell me why you make it so so hard to win.
RC, I appreciate you. We don't have the clock. I'm going to wait for your time to expire, but I got the pill. I'm not getting near that star. I'm not trying to get knocked out. I'm waiting for the buzzer. Is it my time? All right. We have reached the point. We've reached the point 9 weeks into the season, essentially the halfway point, where I think we can separate teams that are decent, teams that stink, and the true championship contenders. And the biggest differentiator in terms of teams that I really believe can win a title is what's the difference between your best and the worst that you put on tape. And the loss that Green Bay had yesterday at Lambeau Field as the biggest favorite to lose a game this year is a gigantic red flag. We will be in Lambeau next week. Bundle up, fellas. It's going to be 30 degrees. Maybe they're looking down the road at that. Maybe they thought we'll be able to win this game with our B or C game. But this Panther team's now 5-4. The difference between the best and your worst can't be that wide. That's a game you can't lose if you're a title team. We'll see you guys next week in Lambeau. Jason.
All righty. Is this how this works?
I think just talk.
I'll stay in the NFC North with one of the biggest matchups from this past weekend. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions in Motown. And man, was it one for the ages. The Minnesota Vikings, coming off of 2 consecutive losses facing the red-hot Detroit Lions, came to play. Brian Flores gets my game ball, man. He was phenomenal. And one of the things I love about Coach Flores is he finds a way to manufacture pressure while only rushing 4. They were doing such a great job of the replacement blitz, getting pressure up inside the middle on Jared Goff. He was uncomfortable all day. They stopped the run. And then I got to give a big shout out to J.J. McCarthy, 3rd start. He's the 2nd youngest quarterback, but that press conference with a lot of heart, a lot of desire, and the blue-collar shirt, he didn't look that immature to me.
It's on me?
I think so.
All right, I'm going to do like Jason just did. All righty. This is a 3-team race, and obviously you think about Seattle and what they did last night. Sam Darnold going crazy on the Washington Commanders. But Matthew Stafford, if anybody hasn't been paying attention to the Los Angeles Rams, what he's doing, the level he's playing at quarterback. And remember, earlier this season, the team should have beat Philadelphia Eagles had it not been for a blocked field goal. So the NFC West is a gauntlet, and you better be ready to play when you play in that division. This may be a 3-team division that gets in the playoffs from the NFC. We'll see what it's like. They got a really good shot at it.
Stephen A. can't catch. Be careful when you're throwing the ball.
Telling me he only gets 40 seconds. 40 seconds. 40 seconds.
You got to start here.
Let me tell y'all something. I know where the camera is. I always know where the camera is. Let me tell y'all something right now, okay? You can get excited about the Pittsburgh Steelers all you want to. Daniel Jones, 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 lost fumbles, but he ain't lose a fumble all year long and only had 3 interceptions in the first 8 games. I'm not getting caught up in that. I'm not getting caught up in neutralizing Jonathan Taylor, even though I appreciate that. What I don't like is the fact that outside of those damn 6 turnovers, that the Steelers were able to convert into 24 points. The other 7 drives, they only scored 3 damn points. DK Metcalf, your number 1 receiver, had 6 yards. 6 yards on 2 receptions. Jalen Warren, 1.9 yards to carry. I need better than that. You the Pittsburgh Steelers. I appreciate the victory. I'm happy that a 2-game losing streak is over.
What I need. You got 40 seconds.
What I need.
You got 40 seconds. 40 seconds. 40 seconds.
I went over time.
40 seconds.
Delay a game.
Man, trying to throw this deep ball.
Who's got a flag? Who's got a flag?
Delay a game. Let's Stephen.
The Dallas Cowboys have finally made a move, and not just any move. In a moment when this fan base was running out of patience, Jerry Jones delivered. It's official. The Cowboys have traded for linebacker Logan Wilson, the defensive captain of the Cincinnati Bengals. For weeks, the Cowboys' defense has looked lost, drained, and without leadership. After the humiliating 27-17 home loss to the Arizona Cardinals, fans demanded change, and today, that change arrived. ESPN's Adam Schefter and Todd Archer confirmed that Dallas landed Wilson in exchange for a late-round draft pick. It's a move that speaks volumes, not just about Jerry Jones' sense of urgency, but about the desperation to find someone who can bring structure, toughness, and identity back to a defense that's been crumbling since the departure of Micah Parsons. Let's start with who Logan Wilson is. A 6-year veteran, a defensive captain in Cincinnati, and one of the smartest, most instinctive linebackers in the game. Wilson has put up 4 straight seasons with over 100 tackles. He's forced 7 fumbles, intercepted 11 passes, and started 75 games for the Bengals. He's not a star built on hype. He's a leader built on consistency. Wilson isn't flashy, he's not the loudest guy on the field, but he's the kind of player who reads an offense before the ball is even snapped. He diagnoses plays instantly, fills gaps, and doesn't miss tackles. Those are the exact things this Cowboys defense has been missing all season long. Now let's be clear, this move didn't come out of nowhere. Logan Wilson had reportedly requested a trade back in October after losing snaps to rookies Barrett Carter and Demetrius Knight Jr. He was frustrated with how Cincinnati was handling his role. The Bengals were ready to move forward with youth, and Wilson wanted a fresh start. Enter Jerry Jones. On Monday night, just before that disappointing loss to Arizona, Jerry teased that Dallas had already made a trade that would help the team immediately. At the time, we didn't know who he was referring to, but looking back now, you can tell he was excited, because this was the kind of move that signals intent. Wilson's arrival sends a clear message to the locker room. Complacency will not be tolerated. If you're not performing, someone else will take your spot. That's how you rebuild accountability. Now, can one player fix everything? No. The problems in Dallas go deeper than one position. The defense has been allowing over 68% completions and 8.1 yards per attempt. The tackling has been sloppy. The energy has been non-existent. But what Logan Wilson brings is something that can't be coached: presence. He's the kind of player who sets the tone. When he steps on the field, guys around him start playing harder. When he calls a huddle, people listen. And for a defense that's been fractured and searching for leadership, that alone is worth the price. In many ways, this move is Jerry Jones trying to recapture what this team lost when Micah Parsons was traded. Parsons was the engine, the spark, but since his departure, the defense has looked disconnected. Adding Wilson doesn't replace Parsons' raw athleticism, but it does add structure, communication, and intelligence, the kind of football IQ that holds a unit together. Statistically, Wilson's production speaks for itself. Through 8 games this season, he's recorded 46 tackles, 19 of them solo, along with a fumble recovery. He's been a cornerstone of the Bengals defense for years, and his tape shows it. He's everywhere. He reads blocking schemes, fills gaps quickly, and makes the kind of stops that prevent drives from turning into touchdowns. For Brian Schottenheimer and defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus, this is a blessing. They've been searching for a player who can act as an extension of the coaching staff on the field, someone who can identify adjustments mid-game, communicate coverages, and get everyone aligned. That's what Wilson does best. Now, the context is important here. Dallas didn't have to give up much, just a late-round pick, and that's part of why this move is so strategic. It's low cost, high reward. If it works, you've added a veteran leader for years to come. If it doesn't, you didn't mortgage the future. And it couldn't come at a better time. The Cowboys are sitting at 3-5-1. Their defense ranks near the bottom of the league in key categories. Opposing teams have recorded season-high scoring numbers against them 5 times this season. 5! That's not bad luck. That's systemic failure. So what happens now? Logan Wilson is expected to join the team this week, and the hope is that he'll be ready for immediate action. Don't be surprised if he's calling signals as early as next game. That's how quickly Dallas plans to integrate him. This defense doesn't have the luxury of waiting. And make no mistake, the players in that locker room are on notice. Wilson's arrival changes the tone. It changes the standard. Guys like Mozzie Smith, Kenneth Murray, and Jack Sanborn will now have to earn every snap. This is a veteran who doesn't take plays off, and the Cowboys desperately need that mentality to spread. Now, of course, the bigger question now is what comes next? Jerry Jones said he hoped to make a couple more moves before the trade deadline. Does that mean another addition on defense? Could they target an edge rusher or a cornerback to pair with Trevon Diggs once he's healthy? The next 24 hours could be critical. But even if this is the only move Dallas makes, it's one that matters. Because for the first time in weeks, it feels like this team is taking action instead of just talking about it. Jerry Jones didn't sit on his hands. He made a football decision, not just a business one. And for all the criticism he gets, that deserves credit. Let's be honest, this season hasn't gone the way anyone hoped. The offense has been inconsistent, Dak Prescott hasn't looked like himself, and the defense has been exposed week after week. But if Logan Wilson can bring just a fraction of the leadership, discipline, and toughness he showed in Cincinnati, this defense can stabilize. It won't fix everything overnight. It won't turn Dallas into a Super Bowl contender instantly, but it's a start. And for a fan base that's been desperate to see progress, a start is all we needed. Cowboys Nation, this is the time to rally. Logan Wilson is here, the trade is real, and the message is clear. This team isn't giving up. And now, with Logan Wilson in the middle of that defense, the fight just got a whole lot louder.